going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. It's a Monday. It's a bit of a rainy Monday, but it's not rainy Monday on this channel, of course. On a Monday, we check out the world rankings to see what has shifted up over the course of the weekend from those games going on in the World Cup and elsewhere in the world. There's some big results to talk about elsewhere in the world as well, to be fair. And then afterwards, of course, we're going to be checking out the superbru, going through the Predictor, which I actually did okay in this week, and then talking about the fantasy, which I did not do well in. It's my worst round ever, and it's not my fault. I'm a bit salty about it, and I'm going to have a rant, so be ready for that when we get round to it. If you enjoy the style of video, make sure to leave it a like to hear more rants by me. Hit subscribe, do all the fun YouTube stuff. Starting out with the world rankings. A lot of big games going on this weekend, but not a lot to talk about in terms of teams shifting around. There was a lot of high-ranked teams versus lower-ranked teams. There was only a couple of close games, and those closer-ranked games actually ended up being basically the favourites going on to win that, I believe, apart from maybe Japan versus Samoa. So in terms of the big boys here, of course, we had South Africa getting their win over Tonga, not moving anywhere on the board. Scotland with their massive win over Romania, see them still holding in 5th place. Fiji getting a win over Georgia. Of course, they were very closely ranked when we got towards the start of this World Cup, but no shifting around there, not being able to quite overtake Wales as of yet. Australia got their bonus point win, of course, on the weekend as well. Argentina got their bonus point win. The only terms of switching up then, Japan getting their win over Samoa means that Japan climb up to 12th from 13th. They've dragged Georgia with them, even though Georgia had that loss, and Samoa plummeting down from 12th down to 14th on 72.23. And in terms of the rest of the internationals, that's all we've got to talk about in terms of the World Cup teams. Not a lot of switching around going on. But further down the board, I want to know what's going on, because there's some big scores at the top. If you saw it under my face right at the start of the video, there's some other games going on. And I don't know where these are being televised. I'd want to check out some of these. Hungary climb from 70th up through to 66th, dropping down Jamaica, Bermuda, Zambia, and Nigeria, all dropping down a couple of places. Denmark climbing from 73rd up to 71st, Siberia and Finland dropping down. And then further down here, I don't know what's going on here. Qatar have climbed from 999th in the world up to 94 in some game that was going on over there. Laos and Iran both dropped down one place. Turkey and Nepal are also climbing up from that 1,000th mark up to 97th and 98th, knocking a few other people down the board a little bit there. Don't know what's going on there. If anyone does know where these teams are climbing all these mega places from, I'm guessing it must be they are like an unranked team in terms of the international game, and therefore they're classed as like 1,000th, but they've actually got a team together and they've entered the international world and got a win or something, so they've been able to climb up a few points. Don't know what's going on there, but very exciting stuff to know about that. I've never seen a team climb 1,000 places before in one of these videos. So in terms of the rest of the world, a lot of fun stuff to talk about. In terms of the World Cup teams, basically it was all the favourites winning their games, in which case nothing really shifted up points-wise. Ireland still, of course, holding out that first place by a really solid majority from France, and Japan, really the only big move is due to them beating Samoa, and Japan dragging Georgia with them from taking those points away from Samoa. In terms of the Predictor then, a whole bunch of people got the bonus point, including me. I actually got all the games right for a change. It feels kind of mad to say that I actually finally got all of them. I suck at the Predictor, but I actually had okay this week. I had quite a bit of green, not so much the match bonus points, that's where I struggle the most, but I had one or two along the way. Starting out with the first game then, Uruguay versus Namibia. I said Uruguay by 20. They eventually won that one by 10. Namibia having a much better game than I expected, to be fair. In terms of where you wanted to be, a lot of people here scoring that 0.5. Did anyone get it bang on? A few people said Uruguay by 10. 5 people said that. Sambuca, Tha, 11, Ash, and Ricky Lau. Oh, sorry, and also Daka also getting in there. 5 of you guys, well done to you, managed to pick it bang on. 2 people did go for Namibia. Thought maybe a bit of an upset. I would have been surprised if Namibia had won. I had a couple of bets on Uruguay to win, and I lost them all because Namibia had such a good start. in that game on Wednesday. Japan versus Samoa. This one split the board a lot. A lot of people going both ways. Bookie's favourites was actually Samoa for this one by 2 or 3 points. Something. I said Japan by 3. I thought maybe a technical game they would get a little bit better. Eventually won that one by 6, so I did get my my match bonus point. Some people went quite high for Japan. I thought it would be a lower scoring game. Where was it ending up here? So 3 people getting it bang on. Analytical, Temp Shoulders, and the Rugby Veterinarian all getting it bang on. Congratulations to you guys splitting that 0.33 bonus points. But yeah, where was me? There's me. I'm sort of just inside that Japan range. But look how many people went for Samoa. A lot of people thought they would come for this game. Bit of a target game for them in terms of, you know, qualifications for the next World Cup as well. Very, very important game, this one. But Samoa not able to defeat Japan in this one. New Zealand versus Italy. I thought it would be a chunk. I did not think it would be a 79-point chunk. That is slightly more than I was expecting, more than anyone was expecting. Sambuca went out the top there. New Zealand by 53. No one gets the match point. No one gets the bonus point. I would imagine everyone went for New Zealand. A lot of people were sort of saying, though, this could be the one Italy could steal. No, I was wrong. 4 people went for Italy. They thought maybe an upset on the cards. I really thought New Zealand would hammer this game. I expected the bonus point, but 79 points to the win, 96 overall, could have been that 100 points. Man, I wasn't expecting a game quite that big. Argentina versus Chile. I said Argentina by 40. I was just about going to get there, and they just needed to score a couple more tries right at the end to ruin that one for me. Taking it by 54 eventually. Let's see if anyone got it bang on. Christy Ladd is Irish. The only one to get it bang on. We've said that name a few times over this World Cup. Getting the full 1 bonus point there. Stealing it away from Mark Dunphy. Missing out by only a point. It's such a brutal game in here. I can't imagine anyone went for Chile. No one went for Chile. Everyone thinking Argentina were the way forwards. Fiji versus Georgia. This one closer than I expected. Fiji taking this one by 5. I really thought Fiji were going to run this one through. A lot of people thought so. Actually, go right up in these top end Fiji scores as well. I think I said by 20. A lot of people joined me on 20. Lower down is where we wanted to be looking. All the way down here, 2 people splitting this bonus point. SVA and Scottish Squid splitting that bonus point. Congratulations to both of you for getting it bang on. I like that we've got so many people involved now that every game somebody gets it right. It's just never me. Scotland versus Romania. 84-0, a close scoreline. I thought they would do well. I wasn't expecting Darcy Graham to be playing, let alone be getting 4 tries along the way. One person, bang on. Who else would it be? Big Brain, who is a big brain. I feel like there's almost insider trading at this point because there's so many absolutely bang on scores. Congratulations for that pick, 84 points. To be fair, a couple of people getting right out here, right? I mean, my boyfriend made me do this. Joey Barton, Foot Easy, and Ian, all very, very close. I did not expect it to get that far out. So congratulations to all of you guys for getting those massive, massive picks for that one. Australia versus Portugal. I said Australia to win by 15. They won by 20. I just about crept in on my half bonus point. A lot of you guys thought Australia by a lot. I thought Portugal might really target this game, and they played very, very well in it. Ooh, a lot of people got this one bang on. To be fair, nice round number tends to be where the most people get. Joey Barton again, as we've said that name a couple of times today. Izzy Rude, Just Gaz, Rec 79, Bonjour England, no chance of winning. Mattarello, Miel, and Tha 11. Again, another name we've said a couple of times today. All of you guys splitting that bonus point by 0.25 between you all. And then the final game of the round, South Africa versus Tonga. South Africa maybe slightly underperforming in this one. They were testing a couple of things out. Conceded more points than I expected them to be fair. I said South Africa by 44. Eventually they won by 31. I went too much for this game, which is normally the opposite way. Some people went a lot for South Africa on this one, right up into the 80s. Where we wanted to be was down here, and 2 people getting it bang on. Rich and Bonjour England, no chance of winning once again, having a second good game on the bounce for you there. So both of you guys splitting that half bonus point. Did anyone go for Tonga? No, I didn't expect anyone to go for Tonga for this one. South Africa very heavy favourites going into this one. In terms of the round then as it stands, Aza Matt is the round winner. I don't think I've said your name yet, Asa. Maybe I'm wrong there, but wow, what a congratulations on a great round. Those match bonus points, so not getting it bang on, so that's probably why I'm not focusing it, but just consistency within that 5 points is what wins it. 8 from 8, and getting that 0.25 takes you out on a 12.5. Sorry, it's actually also joint with Scottish Squid. I didn't see that. I didn't see you were both actually joint on the 12.5. Congratulations also to Scottish Squid. Both of you getting the same amount of bonus points, but one of them coming from the actual bonus point. I'm not sure why it's classed Asia as top then. The match bonus points is obviously more important to superbru than the bonus point for getting it bang on. That's interesting, because the TDM actually has Scottish Squid as winning this round. So I'll leave that one up to you to find out in the comments. The Rugby Veterinarian taking third on 12.33. Bonjour England, no chance of winning. Coming out of nowhere for this one, 12.25. That 11 with a lovely picture of a dog comes in fifth on 12. I'll have a bit of a scroll down. A few people getting up in the 11 points there. Dolphin Warriors, Lionel, Alex M. Connor Does Rugby, another great YouTuber out there on 11.5. Good round for you, Connor. Mr. Tashtastic, it's a name I've been seeing a lot in the Superbru recently as well. Starts us out for these 11.5s. We'll scroll down. Where's me? There's me. Not too bad. I got my 8 from 8. Only one point from the match bonus, and then the 2 Grand Slam points as well. So you know what, I'll take that. Me, Villa Fowl. I feel like me and Villa Fowl are very equal in a lot of these Superbru results. I don't know why we're obviously very in tune, Villa Fowl, of how we always end up getting pretty much the same scores. Osprey Lord Nicholas, Constant Jet, Cesare 2, Lewis Young, Better Av. Wow, a lot of people getting 11. We'll scroll down to the people who maybe didn't get that Grand Slam bonus point. A lot of people lost the Grand Slam bonus point by backing Samoa over Japan. That was pretty much the main one. We'll have a scroll all the way down, and then of course we also have our page 2 for a couple of people who maybe got a few more wrong. Some people only backed 3 or 4 games or what have you, maybe didn't get the picks in time. Then of course a few people not getting their picks in this week. In terms of the leaderboard as it stands, then Aza Matt with that awesome round, this one jumps 3 places up into first place, taking you on 39.75. I don't think I've ever seen scores getting this high. 30 win points so far. It's one thing I didn't think about actually, to see if anyone is still every single game. I actually have no idea how many games we've gone through so far. I don't know if anyone's got every single game correct. If so, that would be very, very impressive. But congratulations to Aza Matt on taking this one. Yippee Try comes down into second place on 39 joint with Gobi. That TDM separating you guys out there for kind of a joint second place on 39 points. Alex M climbs up 2. Just Gav climbs up 4. Cesare 2 climbs up 8 places. Good round for you, this one. That 11 also climbing up 14 places. Great round for you. Big Brain, considering you have that amazing call on the South Africa game, dropping down 7. The rest of the games I must have missed out on. A couple of the other games not going your way, Big Brain. I'm new here, climbing up to Anyinia Jones, holding out that final place in the top 10 on 35.83. Connor Does Rugby, there he was. We said we had a good score, climbed up 24. Well, a bit of a scroll through quickly so everyone can see theirs. Decker climbed 28. Villa Farrell climbed up 24. I must have climbed up somewhere, right? Oh, I climbed up 28. You know what? I'll take I've climbed up. I'm in the top 30, guys. We're getting there slowly. I'm not going to be hoping for big scores in this one. Bears Gamer, another YouTuber there on 28th at the minute. My boyfriend made me do this down 12. All the big guns. Struggling this week in terms of the predictor. What is going on? Jay there climbing up 39. Milan climbs 37. Scottish Squid 47 places. What a round for you there. Lord Nicholas climbing 27. The Rugby Veterinarian up 45 places. Big rounds in this one. Making those mistakes and not getting that Grand Slam bonus point seems to be the real detriment in this one. SVA climbing 30 places as well. Nostra Dive taking down 24. Unfortunately for you, Nostra. Solo Ace down 31. Bowie been a bit of a Titan before in the Predictor series, down 19. Pedri climbs up 16. Better Av up 21. Alex, hard round for you, mate. 65 down on the go. Constable goes down there as well, 64 places. Fijian Bro down 62. I'm wondering if everyone got their picks into dropping down quite this many places. Sharkbrain climbing up 5 places there. Insomniac down 21. Man, some big switching round in this one, all the way down to Alfie Brez at this point, who is just going for the wooden spoon. He's confident in it. He wants it. Maybe Val Bulls is going to join him. Fight it out for the wooden spoon, you guys. Who can finally take that one? But congratulations to Azamat on taking the round alongside of a Scottish Squid on the same amount of points, but for taking over that top spot in the leaderboard as we head into round 5 of the World Cup. On to the fantasy then. The fantasy that I've very much not enjoyed this week. Some people have had some monster scores. Look at these bar graphs. I have never seen stacks on stacks. Normally there's one area. It's always been the backs, right? But even the red bar this week is pretty immense, this one. So we'll have a run through, and I want to dive into this a little. I'm going to go on a rant for this one. Get ready for this one, guys. So coming out on top, Big Brain on 351.5. It might be the biggest score ever. I'm trying to think over the rest of the World Cup if anyone's had a score like that. That is enormous, and a true separation. My boyfriend made me do this and swap their name back. I love that. I love that we've gone back to it now. On 305, a 50-point difference between first and second place. Big Brain has crushed this round. This is a superb round for Big Brain. Mr. Tashtastic taking third place on 294. Ian, Phil, Chachino, Footeasy, I don't think I've read Oom's name before. Maybe I have. Sorry about that. Juan Frosty taking 229, and Highland Cow squeezing in that top 10 on 214.5. And isn't that incredible? Top 10 players. Number 1 this round got 350, about 140 points ahead of 10th place. What an incredible round this has been for Big Brain. We will have a scroll down so everyone can see their names. We'll go over, of course, the players of the round as well. And I'm going to have a bit of a rant on this one. Now, of course, we didn't know the players that were going to be playing in some of these games. There's me down in 47th on 143. So I picked my players based on positions and who I assumed was going to be playing there. And I have never had so many players not playing. By the end of it, I think I had 4 or 5 players not playing, and I still had my Italian Federico Ruzzo. I didn't expect to score well, and I had a terrible round. In terms of the best players then, I've had a bit of a run through for this one. I've even done a little bit of prep for this one, so I don't have to have so many cuts in this one. In terms of your props, your best props of the round, Angus Bell scored 15, Nepu Lau Lala scored 13, so if you had both of those, that's where you get into the big scores in terms of the blue. Your best hooker of the round, Dane Coles, coming on the bench from New Zealand. One person did have that. I know Dan Can't Ruck did actually have that player on 24.5. I don't know how many people were guessing a benched hooker would be the best way to go. In terms of your lock department in the yellow, it was New Zealand across the board. Brodie Retallick was a 17.5, was the best one, and every other New Zealand lock scored 13.5. So they were the best across the board. New Zealand was your focus for this one. In terms of your back row in the red bar, Ardi Sarvea by far the best, 36.5, and then the rest of it was your Argentinians, Gonzalez and Facundo Issa, scoring 22.5 and 22 respectively. Your scrum half, best one was 22 points, goes to Aaron Smith, who I really wasn't expecting to score too highly in this game. I thought Cam Roygaard might come on and score a little bit more. Your fly half in the purple bar, only one person by the looks of it had it, and that was Ben Healy on 48. Big Brain there with a great pick going for Ben Healy. Your centres was an all-Scottish lockout. Cameron Redpath got 20, Chris Harris got 24.5, and then in your back three, Darcy Graham absolutely blew this one out the water. 59 points, might be the biggest score I've ever seen with his 4 tries. Some people making him captain as well, which is why you see these ridiculous grey bars in this round. Will Jordan scored 30.5 and Ollie Smith scored 27. Now that is quite incredible. Now something I don't normally do, because I've just never been quite blown away by this. It's actually have a look at people's teams. And just to sort of go through, look at this team. Look at this team that Big Brain managed to craft together. Some of the players, fair enough, maybe not getting the most points along the way, but some of the players, Darcy Graham as captain was the best pick of the round. Ben Healy was the best fly half of the round. Cameron Redpath is one of the best centres of the round. Kyle Stain, unfortunately, didn't do quite as well as Ollie Smith. Arata was right up there for one of the best scrum halves in the round. Sarvea and Gonzalez, 2 of the best 3 in your back row. Your lock department, McFarland was joint there on 13.5 with some of the other New Zealand locks. Bell was the best prop of the round, and Creevy 16.5, only a few points off the best hooker. That is an unbelievable team. Now I want to have my rant, and here comes my rant. Now here is my team that I went into the round with. Now this is where I'm going to have my bit of copium. I'll go through my theory. We don't talk a lot about fantasy theory that I was going in with. Now of course we didn't have all the teams announced by deadline of the game being announced. Let me talk you through my theory of what I went with. I wanted the Argentinian hooker because I assumed they would go for driving walls. So I picked Julian Montoya. I also wanted the Argentinian kicker because I thought they might go for a couple of threes, and then in the second half it would line up more. So I picked Boffelli on my wing as my kicker because I assumed he was going to be kicking for Argentina, which meant I needed a different fly half. I needed a running fly half. I had a look through the list. Echeverry seemed to be scoring well in terms of running. It does say K for kicker. That's because I made him my backup kicker after Boffelli. I also had Pablo Matera because I wanted an Argentinian back row, not Quagga Smith. Quagga Smith was just on my bench. It's got auto subbed in at the end of the round. I tend to not lean towards Kramer because I'm always worried he's going to get red carded. And Facundo Issa I thought might get taken off early. So I went for Pablo Matera thinking blindside flanker. Got to be a great call. Scotland-wise, I knew I wanted some Scotland backs for this game. I assumed it was going to be Tui Peloto and Hugh Jones, so I went for the outside centre. I went for Hugh Jones, and I assumed the wingers were going to be Van der Merwe and Kyle Steyn, and I tend to not really ever go for Kyle Steyn in the fantasy, so went the other side. Picked Van der Merwe, made him my captain. Again, says Bodenbout's captain because he's my backup captain because Duan van der Merwe didn't play. Now, this is mainly because I didn't know who was being played. I just did the guesswork, as did everyone involved with the fantasy league. Now, for my own sanity and my own copium, I've gone through the list and basically gone through the players of who I would have picked had I known the team sheets by going off the same logic. So I'm not cheating, I'm not just picking the best players. It's about who I would have picked if I knew the team sheets. And I recommend if anyone had a terrible round this one because loads of your players were playing, do it yourself. Don't lie to yourself. You're only cheating yourself. But go through and be like, who would I have picked? And then have a look at what your scores could have been. Now, of course, I wanted the Argentinian hooker. So Creevy got 16.5, which would have been my pick had I known Julian Montoya wasn't playing. Pablo Matera wasn't playing, so I would have swapped him out. I still wouldn't have gone for Kramer or Issa. I would have lent towards Gonzalez, who had 22.5, but of course Quagga Smith also wouldn't have been there. So I'll get rid of that 15 points, but add on 22.5. I still wanted my Argentinian kicker, so instead of Echeverry, I would have gone for Sanchez, had I known he would have been the kicker for that game. So that would have been 31.5. Hugh Jones not playing at centre. To be honest, I would have lent more towards Redpath than Chris Harris, I think, if I was going into the fantasy. So Redpath would have scored 20 as opposed to Hugh Jones scoring 3. Had I known Duan van der Merwe wasn't playing, same logic. I still wouldn't have lent towards Kyle Steyn. I would have picked Darcy Graham and made him captain, which would have been 59 points, double to 118. And I would have regained that extra winger. I tend to not go for two wingers on the same team. I always feel like they lean towards one or the other and you either get it right or wrong. So again, I don't think I would have gone for Kyle Steyn there. I probably would have gone for Ollie Smith in there. So not knowing the team sheets, and had I have been able to pick those players, minus obviously the points that I already scored, taken off them, the points difference is 200.5. That's what I missed out on by just not knowing who was playing. I would have finished on 343.5. Which would have put me still not first. Big Brain still would have beaten me. How incredible is that? Big Brain still would have beaten me this round because, of course, he got 351, so he still would have won by 8 points. He still would have taken the round. So absolutely congratulations to Big Brain on that one. But I'm a little bit annoyed because I wasn't able to pick my players. My whole theory going into the round was perfect, and I would have had an awesome round, maybe the best round I've ever had. But instead, because most of my players ended up not playing, I ended up getting screwed, and I've had one of the worst rounds I've ever had. So that's my rant. Teams need to get their team sheets out sooner for me, for my benefit. it. But like I said, if you got screwed over as well and you had like 6 players not playing, have a go through, test out yourself, see how many points you probably could have got this round. I'm not going to add them on or do anything to the leaderboards or what have you, but I'm a little bit salty about this round. In terms of the leaderboard then, of course, who else is going to be taking that top spot but Big Brain with that immense round? This one climbs up 2 places. My boyfriend made me do this, sticks out there in second place on 1,149.5. Foot Easy drops down 2 places on 1,115 points. Chachino climbs up 6 places up into 4th place. Juan stays in 5th. Phil climbs up 5 places, just cracking that 1,000-point marker. Climbs up 6 places on 960, so a 40-point gap now to get up to that top 6 spot. PR Azevedo drops down 4 places. Kieranosaurus drops down 2. 10th place goes to Villafarrell on 931. Just beyond that then, Sparky Spartan's dropping down 3. Me dropping down 6. I'm on 891. I can maybe target Villafarrell by the end of the World Cup. I'm out of winning because I am on 891 versus 1,163. That is ludicrous. Big Brain is almost 300 points ahead of me now. Which I'm not recovering. So gone is top spot. I can maybe still fight out for top 10. I'll class it as I'm still going to aim to try and finish in the top 10 in this one. We'll have a bit run through of everyone else's names so we can see if there was any big shift up. Mr. Tashtastic climbs up 32 places on 845.5. Highland Cow climbing 19 places there. Analytical also climbing up 11. Any big droppers? Henry and Dan Can't Ruck drop down there in the mid 700s. Look how this round has completely distributed everyone out now. This is kind of mad. Ian with a great round climbs 70 places in this one. Picking Darcy Graham is the way forwards in this one. Cameron Fish also climbing up 29. Congratulations to you, Cameron. Having a bit of a scroll down, some other big shift there. Insomniac up 23, Rough Stuff up 29. Lewis Kerr climbs 39 places. Fijian Bro climbing 38 places. As we scroll down towards the bottom, down into some 500 points down here. Keeping going. Any other big droppers? 42. Who was that? Across the pond. Down 42 places. Not your round in this one. Kev drops down 51 as well. There's some big fallers in this one. If this one goes badly for you, all the way down to I'm new here, currently down on 450 points. But I know a couple of people did join in late and what have you. And then of course finishing out with everyone on the wooden spoon. But thank you to everyone who has joined in. A massive congratulations to Big Brain on just everything. I don't know how they do it. I don't know what sort of immense knowledge Big Brain has about the teams before they're announced and somehow works out all the scores for the Predictor series. Big Brain is proving why Big Brain is the name of the game, I think, for this one. An immense score, 1,163. And also quickly in terms of the world leaderboards, I never thought we'd have to pay attention to this. Big Brain climbed up 20 places in the world rankings to take second place. Ray Finkel is still holding out strong in this game, going for that top spot. My boyfriend made me do this, climbed up to 4th as well on 1,149 points, and Foot Easy unfortunately dropped down 6 places, maybe not quite getting the picks in order there, but still holding very well. Top 8 in the world. 3 players in our league are in the top 10 in the world. I'm rooting for you 3. I hope somebody manages to win it. I'm not sure if anyone else in our league is maybe slightly further down the list, but I can only really pay that much attention to the top 10. I've unfortunately dropped down to the top 2% of the world, so I'm still going to be kind of happy about that. I am salty about this round, though. I could have had a much better round, but obviously we all face the same hurdles. It's no real excuse. You guys all face the same hurdles as me, as not knowing the team sheets, and if you're someone like Big Brain who's able to make all the correct calls along the way, that is how you go on to win it. So there we have it, guys. That's going to be the roundup for Monday. Sorry this one's gone on for longer, but I needed to rant. I need to have a bit of a rant about my fantasy team. Congratulations to Big Brain. I'm rooting for all the guys in our pool that are going to hopefully go on to steal the #1 spot in the world. I think that'd be really cool if someone from our pool actually wins the whole World Cup overall on superbru. I hope you've all enjoyed this one today, guys. Of course, more preview videos coming out this week for a big final round of the pool stages of the World Cup. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye-bye.